Hi, my name is John Friedrichs. I'm a curriculum consultant for Gallopade. I'm a lot like you. I spent 15 years in the classroom teaching ELA and social studies. Now about Gallopade. We were established in 1979 and are headquartered in Peachtree City, Georgia. We publish juvenile literature and produce K-8 curriculum materials for social studies and science. These include the Carroll Marsh Mysteries and the Georgia Experience. Now, the Georgia Experience products have been designed to specifically facilitate the teaching and learning of the Georgia Performance Standards for Common Core for social studies in grades K-8. Our difference. How are we different from all the other publishers? First of all, our home office is in Peachtree City, not New York City. More importantly, we listen and observe so that we can identify your problems. We then build products that solve your specific problems. We focus our attention on the classroom, teachers, and students. The result? This, the Georgia Experience. This workbook was actually written directly from the GPS. It comprehensively covers the entirety of your standards. Once you and your students have finished this workbook, then you are prepared for everything that the state has to throw at you. And now that CCRPI is in play, social studies now counts. Our books are designed for student success. The lessons are not a mass of information that intimidates students. Our Little Bites approach gives students the opportunity to digest content in small increments. Immediate activities and assessments reinforce and measure standards mastery. Now let's pretend for a moment that this is the book that you use in your classroom. This big, thick history book. And if I'm a kid, and I don't read at grade level, and I don't like social studies, and someone plops this big thing in front of me, what's the result going to be? Shut down? Exactly. Talk about Common Core. Now, we've included the Common Core standards for ELA and social studies throughout our workbooks. You will find the standards listed wherever they are applicable. We don't believe in just slapping a label in the hopes of selling more books. Teachers will now be able to teach students by using timeline development, graphic organizers showing cause and effect, comparing and contrasting, solving problems, identifying point of view, analyze primary sources and classify information, predict outcomes, recognize inferences, increase rigor with higher order thinking questions, writing prompts for expository and rhetorical essays, and using nonfiction text to address reading for information. Now, the crossover effect of ELA and social studies, because Common Core mandates that nonfiction should be read no less than 50% of all reading. Social studies is nonfiction. Reading social studies during the ELA block will build the foundation and allow teachers to create further depth and understanding of the content. Writing expository and rhetorical essays is the foundation for college readiness in ELA. The writing prompts in our workbooks facilitate writing for explaining and arguing social studies content. Give you an example. Remember when you were in college? The time of your life? You took History 101? And then at the end of a couple weeks, the history professor says, go down to the bookstore and get a few blue books, and we're going to have a test on Friday. And when you showed up for that test, he put 2 questions up on the board and said, pick one. It's our responsibility, and it's our thought and philosophy that we need to be preparing kids for this particular moment. Vocabulary. Vocabulary is the foundation of understanding social studies concepts. Our vocabulary words are derived from the lessons in the standards and are therefore most pertinent to the lessons. Introduce the social studies vocabulary in the ELA block. As I've always said, if the kids understand the terms, then they will more likely understand the concepts. The biography readers afford you another opportunity to incorporate reading for information during the ELA block. These readers are interactive and are designed to inform and engage differentiated learning styles. This is a reader that they're going to read a little bit and then they're going to do an activity. Might be a word search, might be a math exercise, might be a puzzle of some kind, and then they'll go back to reading. By the time they get to the end of it, they'll be ready for the assessment piece at the end of our reader. The class set. The greatest value for Georgia teachers is the class set. In addition to the workbook, the vocabulary, and the biography readers are a comprehensive set of resources. The online workbook gives you access to a workbook from anywhere on any device. The Blackline Masters, enrichments, and online visual aids give teachers the opportunity to add depth to their lessons. The web portal to primary sources, Tech Connect tools, and 21st century skills provide teachers with easily accessible digital resources. Assessment and standards tracking. You have the luxury of being able to use our standards-based test prep and track each standard as students master them. It's an essential tool that comes with the class set. And with the Georgia Milestones now in play, it's quite essential in the class set. Some of our other products. Our primary source collections offer a variety of topics that will allow you to incorporate detail-based analysis into your classroom. These are organized by topics and states. Each state has a primary source collection, as well as other topical areas such as World War II, civil rights, and the Great Depression. Gallopade's Common Core booklets are a treasure trove of productive resources. 48 titles, 24 in social studies and 24 in science. Using a variety of graphic organizers, they allow teachers to introduce a depth of knowledge into the regular content. Plus, they are priced to please. Now, in closing, at Gallopade I want to say, we understand your pain. I've been in your position. I understand your need. It's time. You do not have the time to collect, write, organize the lessons that you have to teach. We're a business, but we also get great satisfaction in helping teachers and students achieve their objectives beyond all measure. The Georgia experience is a solution to one of your problems. Think of us this way. If you're a baseball fan and a fan of the Braves perhaps, then you know about Craig Kimbrell, the closer for the Braves. Bullpen door opens up, he comes out on the mound, he throws heat, he throws sliders, and in a crisis situation, he takes that crisis and puts it in the victory column. We'd like to be your closer at Gallopade. Take a crisis situation in social studies and put it in the victory column.